Hey guys, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about writing better lyrics and how to craft your lyrics in your songs. And in this series, I've also done a segment on writing, finding good chords and melodies in those chords. Be sure to watch that video as well. And, so the next step in the writing process for me, usually it starts with the chords and the melody for me personally. And then a lot of times I'll start to get like a theme and I'll start to get some words off of that melody. Okay, so typically for me, I'll be, processing something in my life that's going on, or, having read something that inspired me that I'm pondering, and I kind of have like a theme, something that I want to express and get across. And so as I'm playing, in my previous, or my example with the chords and melodies, I use G and C, and just kind of some simple melodies in those, and eventually, for a real life example, I came to a little progression that sounded like this. And it's like, okay, so we have that melody, right? And then basically, with what I was going through at that time, I kind of, this chorus, emerged from that, where I sang that same melody and added some words to it, just kind of messing around, right? And I sang like, I remember the love that I had at first, when you covered me, when I was at my worst, right? So then, I don't remember the exact how it all came out, but as you can see, you can kind of start to hum, you kind of start to sing some themes, and again, sing them over and over until you get bored of them and tweak them and add to them. And so typically what I'll do then is write those, man, that was good, that was interesting, I'll write that down as a line or two, and then I'll just kind of try to expand that with a couple other lines. And a lot of times for me, that will just come out as like the chorus or like the hook of the song, where I really got the meaning of what I was trying to get across right there. And then, step two for me, I'll often even put down my guitar, or at that point, or keep fiddling around with music, and then aim for the verses next is how I normally do it. So I'll be like, all right, verse one, what can I say that's going to paint a picture that's going to like help people explore that hook that I just came out with, and help them to dive deeper into that. And I'll get a verse on there. And then if I want to go even deeper and bring a different angle on that same theme, then I'll write a verse two about it. And so, that just gives you like just a little tiny snippet there. And, a lot of times that was kind of an example of how I might roll off of some inspiration. I have some theme in my mind, and I have some chord progression, some melody that I've been developing, and it comes together in this moment of, finally inspired, or get those lines down, and I have like a chorus, and I have something to work with. And some verse, a little bit of a verse and a little bit of a chorus, and I'll have a song, like a little baby song starting to be birthed, right? And then it's time to really craft this song from that point. That's how it happens for me. So I'm like, well, how do I add to those verses? How do I, edit those verses, that chorus, those lines? How do you, switch the orders? And and so what I found helpful in that is actually the most helpful book on songwriting you could possibly find is this book called Writing Better Lyrics by Pat Pattison. And I'm sure we'll include some links to that so you can find one and pick one up for yourself. You just get it on Amazon.com, order it right now. And basically, he breaks songwriting down. I'll just give you some examples here. But, he has making metaphors, and he has a whole chapter on how to make metaphors and say things in a different way than you've heard before. And there's like exercises that you can do as a group, or you can just do them on your own and, make multiple metaphors for different things. And then another one, verse development, how to develop your verses, like stripping your repetition for repainting. That's another chapter. So instead of just trying to be repetitive in your song, maybe repaint the themes of your song in different ways. And, he has chapters on point of view, like you could be singing from your point of view, I did this, or I did that, or it could be a story about a third person, she did that and she did this. And so anyway, the neat thing is this, if you grab this book, you're going to be able to spend a lot more time. And what it does is it's kind of like doing, lifting weights. You can lift weights with your legs and make those strong, and then you can do your biceps and your triceps and your traps, and you want to hit all the different muscles, and there are different exercises to develop every muscle so that you're well-rounded and a strong person. So in the same way, there's a whole lot of dimensions to songwriting, tools that you need to have, and techniques you need to have developed by just practicing and doing little trainings and stuff. So then when it comes to this moment of inspiration, you got your instrument, you got a melody, you got a little hook going on, you got some verses, and then you're like, shoot, how do I finish this and refine it and make it into a real song? Well, then you have all these tools that just start kicking in, and you start to notice, oh man, I could make a better metaphor there, or oh, that rhyme is just really cliche. Everybody says it that way. How do I, and now you have all these ways. Oh, how do I find new rhymes? Well, he's got a whole chapter on finding new rhymes, and it helps you to be much more original in your work. Another way to find, new words to use is a dictionary of synonyms and antonyms. And I have, a rhyming dictionary, and I have a regular dictionary and a thesaurus. And you always want to have these next to you when you're ready to write as well. You get stuck on a word and it sounds the same as everyone's saying it, and it's not quite what you're trying to say. Well, you can start looking up alternatives for that word. And, a couple other resources I'll show you, and then I will be done here. The Art of Writing Great Lyrics. This one is by Pamela Phillips Boland, and this one would be like second on my list for that, and great resource as well. And the last one here is the Songwriter's Idea Book, and this one's kind of neat because it's 40 strategies to excite your imagination, help you design distinctive songs, and keep your creative flow. So 40 different strategies, and this one's broken down really simple because there's 40 of them, so they're only a couple pages each, so it's a little easier to digest. So anyway, stock you guys up with resources, because that's how I do it. I play and get inspired and try to come up with new things, and then I just study and practice, and then eventually the two worlds kind of start to collide, and before you know it, you're pumping out songs in one sitting, and you're able to craft it and complete the entire song, and it's like ready for production, and not always, but you get to that point after lots of time and practice. So go ahead and get those resources and go from there. Thanks for watching.